The incomparable sound of jazz guitarist Joe Pass. I was trying to think that in terms of what they call influential guitarists, it's a kind of a critic's word that we don't use, but I was trying to think there's Django and there's Charlie Christian.
Yeah. Wes Montgomery.
Wes Montgomery.
Yeah, I would include Wes. I would say that Wes Montgomery was.
And then that's it.
Those are the three that
Yeah.
that I thought were distinctive or innovative or did something different.
Yeah.
And Wes, I think, was the pure jazz player, even though he became very popular. But he was like the kind of jazz playing that stems from mainstream to bebop to...
What did he do that was innovative?
Well, he did octaves, though,
Yeah.
a lot of octaves.
I remember that.
Very, very clean and very good. But his jazz playing was, in a sense, like, to me, like Jimmy Rolls, kind of a real jazz guitar player.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he didn't... he had the kind of way of playing that was like... fit in with Cannonball or Miles or Bird or...
Well, we were about the same age, so you must have, you went through all that listening to Bird and Diz and all that, and being influenced by it.
Yes, I was, yeah.
But you know, when did you first, this is now gambling, but it seems to me that one of the kind of hidden influences on you was Tatum. You must have heard him around.
Yeah,
sometime.
I heard him on the V discs.
Oh, yes.
Remember the great big...
Yes, indeed.
And he had a trio at that time. I think it was Oscar Moore, I don't know.
No. It was Tiny Grimes.
Tiny Grimes, right. Tiny
And
Grimes.
Slam Stewart.
And Slam Stewart, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was about 14 or something when
Yeah.
I heard the V-discs. Then I heard Tatum solo on V-discs, too. And I remember T for Two.
Sometimes what he used to do drove me crazy. I used to think he was playing out of tempo, but if you kept time through it, he came out at the other end of the tunnel.
Yeah, right.
Which was very scary.
Yeah, right.
And you do that.
Yeah, once in a while, if I get lucky, I can do that. If I'm really focused on ear-wise on what I'm playing, I can kind of do that, you know, and it's fun.
Do you ever get interested in, say, playing a lute or playing flamenco or anything like that?
No, I like flamenco.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it's wonderful music, but I think in order to play it, you really have to devote a lot of time to it.
Oh, yeah.
20 years, 30 years, I think.
It interests me because harmonically, it's very basic.
Yes.
And yet they do things that are thrilling, that are really sensational.
Yeah, I really think so, too. I like the rhythmic things and some of the harmonies, but I would never try to play it. I mean, everybody plays.
Yes.
I mean, and people think that's flamenco.
Oh, well,
you know.
No. But it's, did you ever play another instrument?
No.
Never?
No.
You can't sit down at a piano and find middle C?
I can play, I can find middle C, but I mean, I can't play anything beyond a couple of...
So when you work out tunes or charts or something, you work them out right away on the guitar?
Yeah, I don't work them out. I mean,
Ever?
Yeah. I mean, the only time I ever worked a piece out is if it was really a strange piece that I'd never played before and it had some unusual
No, I actually meant
changes.
composing.
Oh, I don't do very much composing. I do. I think, if you play jazz, you could compose a tune every 5 seconds.
Yes.
And I discovered that they mean nothing. To be really a composer and write melodies, you have to really put a lot of time and thought and inspiration. And so I did an album of all solo pieces and completely forgot them all because...
But that you wrote?
Yeah, but at that time I was inspired by them. But now they sound kind of...
You don't play them anymore?
Once in a while, one of them I remember. But
what? Play it.
Oh, gee.
Come on.
See if I can... I was inspired by Paco de Lucia.
Very nice. What do you call that?
Norman called it Paco de Lucia.
Oh, I see. That's nailing it. But no, that's very nice. Did you do a lot of Latin things?
No. Actually, that's not the way it goes. The bridge is different, but I was in a different place, so I played the bridge different. But anyway, at the time I played that, I thought that was really...
It's a lovely piece. It's also a very guitar-like piece.
Yeah, it's a guitar piece.
But that leads me to thinking that I think that one of the reasons that the kids who grow up playing today are at a disadvantage is because the tunes that are popular now are harmonically, I mean, I might as well come right out and say, they're idiotic.
Yeah, they're nothing.
It's not a piece of music. Whereas when I was growing up, if you learned a tune, I mean a Harold Arlen tune or whatever, you learned a real piece of music. I mean, those were difficult. And it got you around whatever instrument you had to play. And you learned a lot about harmony and about where the melody goes and all that. And now, it just seems to me that between tonic dominant and subdominant, that's all. And I mean, I'm exaggerating wildly, but it's no longer challenging to find a complicated tune. I don't think.
There are the only ones I find. I don't search for a lot of tunes, you know. I mean, I play a lot of standard tunes, but the only ones I find that maybe are interesting harmonically are the Brazilian composers, more contemporary composers. For instance, this one is by a composer named Milton Nascimento, who is kind of a big composer in Brazil of popular music and also kind of a folk hero too. But he wrote this piece. I go into tempo. It's a nice piece.
Oh,
though.
that's beautiful. Was he a guitarist? Is he?
I think he's a guitarist, yeah. I never heard him play.
That's a very, very pretty tune. You know, that's the kind of, that precludes a great deal of sophistication in the players. I mean, you can't be a primitive player and play that.
And play that, no.
No.
But I like the melody. And I
It's
think
beautiful.
what caught me was the singing, the plaintive singing. Is the tune is called Tarde or Late or something. Anyway, but that's an example of the Brazilian composers, and the one I recorded earlier is also changes, you know.
Well, and also some of the very fast kind of samba things are very attractive.
Yeah.
You know, they're not complicated, but they're very nice. You did one, you recorded one that I always liked.
Pa 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 ta 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 ta. Not that.
I don't know, do that. Yes. That's nice. That would feel very good to play on, I would think.
Yeah, I would play it, see.
What's the name of that? You're no good with names. You never know.
No, I know.
You know Honeysuckle Rose.
I know, yeah, wait, no. No, I do, that's called Samba de Orfeo.
Is it from the movie?
It's from the movie, yeah. It's actually
I like
from
that
the
movie.
Black
Black
Orpheus, yeah. So, it's the tune that's the happy piece in the...
Yeah. It's very attractive.
Yeah, it's a nice piece. It's been recorded and played by jazz players ever since it came out, you know.
What was the, you know, everybody starts out with, well, what was the first cognizance of a guitar that you ever had? Who did you ever hear?
First one, let's see.
Ever, when you were a kid?
Yeah.
So that you said, that's a nice instrument.
Well, I can't say. Gene Autry.
What? What do you mean, Gene Autry?
Yeah, well,
Talk about an unexpected answer.
Well, no. I mean, I saw a movie once, and he had a white horse and a guitar.
Yeah.
I liked I think that's a...
The horse I like.
Yeah, the horse I liked. And I asked for the horse, but my father got me a guitar instead. But no, it's not. The first guitarist I heard, I think, was Django Reinhardt. But before that, prior to that, like when I was 6, I started playing when I was 9, so 6 or 7. I didn't have any idea of what the difference between a guitar and a piano or anything else. I mean, I just heard radio and music, you know.
Did you go right for playing jazz guitar, or were you ever seduced by, Julian Bream and John Williams?
No, I started out learning chord changes, the normal local teacher, and who played clarinet, violin, piano, guitar, and everything, and he taught everybody. But he happened to be a good teacher, and I learned the basic chord changes in a Nick Lucas book, and then my father who didn't play anything, but who saw that I seemed to be able to pick up from the local players who came to my house to play in weekends and drink wine. And he would run out and go to a music store, and if he saw a book that said guitar, he'd bring it home. And he'd say, play that. And I'd look at it. So he brought home a book called Carcassi Method, which is a beginning classical guitar method. Mm-hmm. I went through about a third of the book, and I got this little bit going. But that's it. I didn't... Then I started playing gigs right away. 13, I was playing. I could pick up I could play melodies. I could pick up melodies,
And what did you do? Play with territory bands and things?
I played local dance groups,
Give me a name of one.
Well, you ready to hear one?
All right.
The Gentlemen of Rhythm.
Oh, hey. Look out. That's nice.
Was a guitar,
yes,
a bass, and a violin. The violin player played like Stefan Grappelli.
Well,
and
so you could play like Django.
Yeah, so I never copied his style, but I played melody. So we had a rhythm guitar, we had a bass, and we had a violin, and we played all the country clubs.
But that's what I don't understand is you said before you never really studied anything, and that you played all these things your father brought home. Where did you get the kind of technique? Because I don't care how there's a cutoff point to modesty. I mean, you've got chops that won't quit. Where'd you get that?
When I first started, I practiced scales. I mean, for some reason, my father, he didn't know anything, but he would say, practice scales. And I practiced, scales. And I think, actually, what happened was that I just did a lot of practicing when I was 9, 10, 11, 12. 4, 5, 6 hours a day. And I mean, whether I wanted to or not, that was the...
Why, because your father laid down the law?
That was the law. I mean, you practiced, and if you didn't, your brother told on you, so I had to practice. So I sit there, and I would go through, I took about a year's lessons. I would have to go through every lesson I took from the first page to the last, and then my hour of practicing was finished, and I still had to practice, so I would practice scales. I don't know. I think one thing, I'm left-handed, and that accounts for some of the dexterity a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Being left-handed, this hand is...
I never even thought of that.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know, maybe a lot of playing.
Jazz guitarist Joe Pass. Let me ask you, I have a lot of friends who play classical guitar, and when they get, well, when they have enough money or enough reclam or whatever you call it,
Yeah.
they have their guitars made. Is there anything to that for a jazz player?
Yeah, I have one or two made guitars by a special plectrum F-hole guitar. This is called F-hole guitar.
Yeah.
And you can have them made to what the neck to what you want, this part of it, and you know.
Well, but the resonance supposedly is
Yeah, the wood in it. But I find that when you have a very good guitar made out of very good wood.
You mean like a Spanish guitar?
Yeah, well, like or this kind.
Yes.
Rosewood and all whatever they do. I'm not really up on all the specifics of what kind of wood they use, but there's some special things that when you amplify it with a pickup, it doesn't work. You reproduce the sound of the guitar, which is kind of I call it like a pop radio sound. It has that sound like music, you know. So electric guitar to me, which is what I play here, it has to be plywood, laminated wood, and a pickup in it. It's the pickup that makes that sound like, let's say, for the lack of a better description, the Jim Hall sound or a Kenny Burrell sound. This nice, round, amplified sound. It's the pickup and not so much the wood.
Did you start out with a good guitar?
No, I start out with a harmony guitar. And
What is that?
Oh, very cheap guitar.
You mean it's a brand name?
It's a brand name.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Harmony.
Okay. Yes.
And
I thought I played the changes for you.
Yeah, right. Well, that's how I developed my ear. But anyway, and the strings action was real high, naturally, and so I got a lot of strength in my hand from pressing, I guess, I don't know. And then I went to just an ordinary Martin guitar, which is another brand name, but...
And have you stuck to the same one more or less for a lifetime?
No, I play all different kinds. This is a Japanese guitar, I don't know. But,
You don't use a pick?
I use a pick very seldom, only if I'm playing in a rhythm section, you know, with a drummer and a bass player, and they want a lot of energy or drive, edge, then I use a pick. Otherwise, I just use my fingers.
Tell me something, in your opinion, why is it necessary now, is it just volume, or why is it necessary for the guitarists now that play in rock bands to distort the instrument so terribly?
I don't understand. I don't know. I think the only advantage in today's guitar world is that they can sustain a note now forever. And let it really hang in there. They have the electronic equipment to sustain a note. And that is something that I find like, I would like to be a saxophone player. Because I think a saxophone player, he has contact with the instrument, and he's coming right from his diaphragm, his gut, you know, and he can actually sing on his instrument, I think. Whereas on the guitar, and you might get a little vibrato, but stops. I don't know about a piano. You guys have the pedal, you know.
No, but it's the same problem because I know that there's a famous story. Liszt, who was supposed to be the greatest pianist ever, and he heard a great violinist, and he went home and tried to, for hours, to get a vibrato. And I mean, obviously you can't, but it drove him crazy. So I know what you're talking about.
But outside of that, I don't know. I mean, today, if you listen to guitarists on records or anywhere, sometimes you can't even tell it's a guitar. I mean, it sounds like a keyboard or a synthesizer.
I went, my wife and I took our 4-year-old to the circus last year, and I couldn't see the band. But first of all, it was amazing. I mean, really tremendous playing. The ensemble was just amazing, and I couldn't tell what the instrumentation was, which is kind of odd.
Yeah.
And I finally wandered around and I found it. And what they had was they had a drummer, they had a guy who played flute, clarinet, saxophone, and they had 3 synthesizers.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's
and
it.
It sounded like an 80-piece orchestra. And I thought, I am about to turn into a museum piece, because pretty soon they ain't going to need anybody.
I know, it's...
Except it doesn't sound, it still doesn't sound right.
Now, to me, it has an artificial, I mean, for the lack of a better word, there's something about, I think you can identify that it's a synth.
Oh, yes, because I think that not only is it a machine playing, I think it's probably a machine playing it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's
right.
the next step up.
That's the next step.
You're going to get a machine that plays the machine. Before we do that, listen, I won't keep you talking anymore. Play something. Play. Come on.
This,
There are very few people on any instrument that I've ever heard that are as wonderful to listen to, and I'm talking about anybody.
I can't believe that.
Oh, it's true. No, listen. It's very hard to pay friends compliments anyway, but it is true. It's absolutely thrilling, and I'm glad I had this chance to talk to you and to listen. And I'll see you around. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Andre Previn with my friend Joe Pass, and I hope you'll join me next time for another high performance.
This program was recorded in Los Angeles by Joseph McGee. The musical selections performed by Joe Pass included It's a Wonderful World, Lil Darlin', Round Midnight, Summertime, Paco de Lucia, Tarde, Samba d'Orfeo, Beautiful Love, Honeysuckle Rose, Prelude to a Kiss, and My Old Flame. High Performance is produced for Minnesota Public Radio by Nancy Fusion. Technical producer is John Scherf. The series was created for radio by Tom Vagley. High Performance, hosted by Andre Previn, was made possible with funds provided by the American Public Radio Program Fund